Welcome to the Evan Michael Show, starring Evan Michael Pinsonnault. Joining Evan today is Broadway veteran Chris Coop-Olette, Director of Public Relations of the Wharton Center, Bob Hoffman, jazz trumpeter Brad Fowler, original founding director of the Wharton Center, Ken Beachler. And now, here's Evan Michael Pinsonnault.
John Dale Smith and the world-class City Band, everybody. Aren't they fantastic? An exciting moment for our local community, for local TV. We're going to try to make a bit of TV history here. So with that, John Dale, it's been wonderful performing with you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. You'll have to find someone else now.
No. You are the leader of the band leader, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be leading the charge for what is a wonderful team on the Evan Michael Show. And what makes this so exciting, not only for our audience members here today, but for everyone out there who's watching, is that this will be the capital city's first. This will be Mid-Michigan's first. This will be the state's first variety show celebrating the performing arts, championing our local performers who are from the area, people who come to Mid-Michigan, people who love it here, and then people who end up coming back here because of all of the creativity we have to offer.
And what ages are we talking about?
We're all over the board.
Really?
People like my age, people like your age.
Aren't we the same?
Exactly. We're close, you know. A little bit of a discrepancy there. But we are sitting in a performing arts hotbed, this region. And also, as you can see from our logo right there, the MI in Michigan, because we are local, we are connected here, and it is a very big deal. And when you think about just some of the guests we have tonight, and I've got my fancy note cards here. I'm very good at crafts, put these all together. Very good at crafts. No, I mean, we have a Broadway performer here. We have a man from the Wharton Center. We have Mr. Wharton Center himself is going to be joining us. That's a tease to figure out who that's going to be. It's just, and we have a super talented local trumpeter. I mean, our lineup is amazing because we want this to be just like the great variety shows from the golden age of television, the shows that you wanted to have your family watch, the shows that you were proud to be in front of the TV set to see, to get energized about. And when we have those type of people both on the stage and behind the scenes making it happen, then you know what, we've got a winning combination. And I am very blessed for that, and I'm very excited that all of you are coming along on the journey. And speaking of the journey today, it's I would be safe to say, John Dale, that it's that we have a theme today. And I'm thinking the theme, because of being in the Wharton Center, because of all the people with the Broadway connections, we should do a Broadway theme show. What do you think? I think that could work.
Idea.
And there's one.
Do you have a song?
There's one song that comes to mind when I think Broadway. That is obviously the Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. You can dance if you want to. You can leave. Second choice. I think you know the one I'm talking of. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. But when you're sitting in your seat, when you start to tap your feet, the music's beat goes on and you're somewhere. They say our TV show today's about Broadway. Looking at our guests, I guess they're right. So now you got to make some time, be entertained, be feeling fine. Feeling fine, we'll make them shine tonight. They say they may not see us all on Broadway. Oh. We'll catch a cat, a bus for home, they all say. But they're dead wrong, I know they are, because our lineup will take us far. We won't quit till we show the stars of Broadway. At least that's the plan. Hey! won't quit till I'm a star. I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. Yo, John Dale Smith and the world-class city band, everybody. And when we get back on the Evan Michael Show, we're bringing Broadway to you.
Thank you.
And our next performer, we talked about this being a Broadway theme. We're bringing Broadway back to you guys. 12 years on Broadway in Phantom of the Opera. All three female leads developed educational programs for the Broadway classroom. Now is at the Institute of Arts and Creativity here at the Wharton. Let's welcome out to the stage Broadway veteran and star performer, Chris Coop-Olette.
Going to sing from Phantom. The first song I'd like to sing for you today is a beautiful tune called When the Sun Comes Out. When the sun comes out and the rain stops beating on my window pane, when the sun comes out, there'll be bluebirds round my door, singing like they did before that old storm broke out. And my man walked off and left me in the rain. Though he's gone, I doubt if he'll stay away for good. I'd stop living if he should. Love is funny. It's not always peaches, cream, and honey. Just when everything looked bright and sunny, suddenly the cyclone came. Oh, I'll never be the same till the sun comes out and the rain stops beating on my window pane. If my heart holds out, let it rain and let it pour. It may not be long before there's a knocking at my door, and you'll know the man I love walked in when the sun comes out.
The beautiful Chris Coop-Olette, everybody. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about her fantastic Broadway career and what brought her back to Mid-Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome back to the Evan Michael Show. Very excited now to sit down and talk with Chris Coop-Olette. You sounded magnificent, if I may be so bold.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. And we also discovered during the commercial break, look what we can do. Look what we can do.
Exactly.
Look what we can do.
Game.
We can have fun. Spin the TV host 3 times, and he'll just ask you a random question. The Phantom of the Broadway, and you were... This is actually the best way to do interviews, actually, like this. So, Chris, tell me a little bit about the... No. Well, I think what's on everybody's mind, and mine too, because it's one of my favorite all-time shows, Phantom of the Opera. You were not just in the show, you have played all of the female leads.
That's right.
Tell me about that experience. That's amazing.
Well, it was a brilliant experience. I was hired for 3 months originally to cover someone who had to have surgery, and I was going to be a Madame Giry understudy. And I looked like baby Giry, so they said, why don't we try her out as Christine? And then it was 6-month contract, and then I was a Christine cover, and then they were like, I know Carlotta. And so I got to play all 3 roles, dozens, and sometimes hundreds of times, depending on which lady.
Were you going back and forth at all? Like, one night you were Christine, the next night you were Carlotta?
Absolutely. There was a 2-week stretch where I played only those 3 roles in the show, back to back to back to back to back. So that's 16 performances as one or the other.
I think it would have been great to accidentally sing the wrong song, just create a new Phantom legend. That could have been a lot of fun.
That's why you're not on New York Broadway stages.
But no one said I didn't do that.
No, that's true. My one audition went very well. That's not the song. Did he just make up the lyrics? Well, I did that today too, but that's okay. But now you are back here in our community. Walk us through a little bit about the journey back here and all the exciting things going on here at the Wharton Center.
Absolutely. My husband and I were touring with Cats, and the Broadway production
Meow.
closed here.
John
Meow.
Dale. Okay.
The production closed here at Wharton Center. I had a broken foot, but I was dancing on it. I had no home, and he had no home, and we were both going to be jobless, so he decided Wharton Center was the place to propose marriage. And,
Why
and we
not?
lived in New York for 13 years, and all the time we're trying to find a way back. I much prefer the Michigan lifestyle, particularly this area, because of Wharton Center.
What a journey it's been back, to say the least. What a journey it's been back. The Institute of Arts and Creativity, and this is what I think is also so great about what our community has to offer, is the fact that when Broadway comes back, it's not just, hey, I was in a show, I sang and danced, look at me. It's how do we learn from this experience? How do we get other people to make the right decisions, both on stage and off, to have a career like yours? And the work that is going on at the Institute is that and more.
Oh, so much more. One of the brilliant things about the Institute is that we do take people who want a career in the arts and advance their skills, or people who just want to try to have a little bit of fun, or learn math more easily through dance. These things we explore
math
all.
And dance.
Yeah, they're actually great partners.
I know. A lot of times when I am trying to do a 2-step, I'm thinking about the quadratic equation. You know, it comes naturally to me. Oh my God, is that a foxtrot? Why did you times x by 4? Unbelievable. No, but thank you very much. We will be back in a little bit. I'd love to hear you perform again if you're up for it.
Certainly will.
But until then, you mentioned great things going on at the Wharton Center. We're going to bring Mr. Bob Hoffman in next, and you're going to hear about exciting Broadway productions right in your own backyard when the Evan Michael Show returns. Welcome back to the Evan Michael Show. I think this is a perfect time, John Dale, for you to introduce the amazingly talented world-class city band. You guys are just rocking it.
I can do that.
Please do.
Over there, we have Jerry Krause on electric bass, Phil Denny on tenor sax.
We're going to see a lot of this year.
That's right.
Guest co-host coming up.
Bronnie Brown on tenor and alto and soprano. Don Sovey on electric guitar and vocals. Richard Cody on drum kit, Jonathan Smith on percussion, and of course, me.
Hey, you guys have a similar name.
Rick Cody doesn't sound at all like me.
Oh, you're right. But well, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our next guest, who you know very well, Chris. Former morning anchor at WLNS, this gentleman, right? Founder of EpiphanyNow.org, a fantastic nonprofit organization that wants people to pass it forward, do good deeds, give them back in their community. He's the current public relations manager at the Wharton Center. Some call him Mr. Hoffman. We call him Broadway Bob. Let's welcome Bob Hoffman to the stage, everybody. Bob Hoffman.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, he just fulfilled a career dream to spin on television. You've always wanted to spin on television.
To Dancing Queen.
And to Dancing Queen. You look good, Bob.
Thank you, buddy.
How you feeling?
Look good too. I'm feeling great.
Feeling good. Let me get my special note cut out because it's as if I don't know anything about you, so I want to make sure I have my cheat sheet here. My favorite fun fact about Bob: enjoys musicals and karaoke, sometimes at the same time.
Yeah.
You've been known to sing right through the musicals here at the Wharton Center.
We go karaoke together.
We do. We like that. And when we are singing, a lot of our favorite tunes and hits are, of course, from shows that we have seen here at Wharton. What a lineup 2014 is shaping up to be. Tell us a little bit about some of the amazing productions coming out.
I'll tell you and I'll show you because I brought props. Peter and the Starcatcher is coming up in January, so you can be Peter and the Starcatcher. Get one of these, put them online, go to whartoncenter.com.
Now, is this have anything to do with one of the characters? I can't talk like
quick.
this.
How
about this? Is this the new way to wear the stash? The new way to wear a stash. No, let's take a quick preview of Peter and the Starcatcher, soon to be here at the Wharton Center.
When I was a boy, I wished I could fly.
Peter and the Starcatcher, a grown-up's prequel to Peter Pan and winner of 5 Tony Awards. A tale filled with magic, romance, comedy, and adventure. The New York Times says it's the most exhilarating Broadway storytelling in decades. And Time Out says this show soars. Don't miss Peter and the Starcatcher. Now playing at New World Stages. For tickets, call 212-239-6200 or visit telecharge.com.
No, Bob, that looks like a great show. In fact, I had the pleasure of seeing it actually in New York. And one of the actors in that clip, you said,
yeah, actually, the actor that is doing that clip is actually going to be here too. He was on Broadway playing Black Stash, and he's going to be playing it right here. So, you know, a lot of those actors go back and forth between the shows. So.
Some of the other big shows coming up.
Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
There you go.
Book of Mormon, which is always popular. And I want to talk a little bit about the attractions that we have besides Broadway, because we bring in world class.
People forget that.
Yeah, Stuart Pimsleur Dance and Theater. What's unique about them is they're actually doing a workshop with the College of Osteopathic Medicine where they're talking about, well, you probably already talked about this a little bit maybe, where they're actually going in and talking about patient relationships with doctor using theatrical devices and techniques and how to read body language, and so it's kind of cool.
Mr. Bob Hoffman, thank you so much for being on the show. We'll have you back.
Okay.
You got to spin though. You got to spin though. He's got to spin.
I'll always spin for you.
And when we get back, what would you think about hearing another number from this Broadway beauty? All right, Chris Coop Olette performing once again when we get back here on the Evan Michael Show. Welcome back to the Evan Michael Show. We did something that happens a lot on TV, the old flip-flop. We flip the chairs back. And also, forgive me, I realize I've been doing this interview completely in the wrong style for Phantom. You know, I figured you'd be a lot more comfortable if I, if I did the interview, I think, like this. In dreams you came to me, in night you sang, my foot is caught on the chair, I'm in some pain, but now I'll lift it out and walk you hands. I know. No, please, thank you. One more performance. Tell us a little bit about it real quick.
This is Can't Help Loving That Man from Showboat. A role that I played often, Julie.
There we go, Showboat. Chris Coop Olette, everybody.
Oh, listen, sister, I love my Mr. Man, and I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason why I should love that man. It must be something that the angels done plan. The chimney smoking, the roof is leaking in, and he don't seem to care. He can be happy with just a sip of gin. I loves his kisses even when they got gin. Fish gotta swim and birds gotta fly. I gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell
Still left me all tangled.
I know help at
Who
all.
would have taken an entire showboat number? I still can't get my jacket back on. Coming up next, from Broadway music to Broadway trumpeting, we're going to bring in a very special guest to play for you. That's when we get back and I figure out how to put a jacket on. Next on the Evan Michael Show. Hey, could you help me? Our next guest on the Evan Michael Show, a Mid-Michigan native. He's been a trumpet player all his life. He recently received accolades from the Detroit Music Awards. He's traveled all across the state, the country, and now the world, playing hits that you'll recognize from Jazz Fest and Old Town and more. Let's welcome out Mr. Brad Fowler. Get back. We'll sit down and put him on the hot seat. What do you think? He's ready. We'll see you back in just a minute on the Evan Michael Show. This PSA sponsored by amazing trumpet playing. You sounded fantastic, my friend.
Thanks so much.
And if I may look at my fun little note card here, your career, of all places, started in an amusing location.
Well, that time I was playing at Cedar Point.
At Cedar Point.
In the beach band, which is a clown band. So yes.
Yeah, but you know what? You need to start somewhere, as they always say. I think you should have been playing on one of the rides.
No, we did at one point.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Got written up.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
absolutely. So.
John Dale, you know all about that.
Just clowning around with you is enough.
Well, it is. It is. That's worth a write-up or two. From there, your career hit, I made this note because I'm just so clever, John Dale. I'm so clever. I made the note and I said, your career hit cruise control.
You're so clever.
Thank you, thank you. And could you tell us why I did that?
Oh, I worked for 3 years for Princess Cruise Lines as an on-staff musician, solo, lead, whatever they needed. Went all over Caribbean, through the Panama Canal countless times, and up to Alaska.
A frequent performer and collaborator at all of our wonderful music fests in this community, Jazz Fest, Blues Fest, Mosaic Fest, and we always see you out there supporting the great local bands, including who you do the music arranging for.
Both, there's a couple salsa bands in Michigan, Ritmo, local band, Orquesta Ritmo with Mike Aia.
Yes.
Great talent. I do a lot of the arrangements and music director for that, and then a group out of Grand Rapids, Grupo Aie. That
I'm not even going to try to pronounce those.
Aie. Aie. That's it, yeah. Grupo Aye, and that's another fabulous band. I do the musical arrangements and musical directorship for that band as well.
We're keeping you busy. We want to keep you busy one more time on the show. You've got another number for us. What are you going to feature?
The fantastic Dizzy Gillespie tune, A Night in Tunisia.
Ladies and gentlemen, A Night in Tunisia with Mr. Brad Fowler. And his impromptu teaching of how to not play the trumpet. It's the closest I've ever come to being a musician. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be back with lots more on the Evan Michael Show, including a special guest who helped make this place where we are, this building, possible. Ken Beachler when we get back. Welcome back to the Evan Michael Show. My next guest needs no introduction. No, we're kidding. We're going to give him a small introduction. In fact, I think I have it on my very special handy-dandy cue cards. Here we go. MSU grad of Broadcasting and the Arts, all right, former program director at WKAR, the founding director of the Wharton Center. We call on Mr. Wharton himself. Let's welcome to the stage Ken Beachler. All right, Ken. I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that you have a number for us.
I do, but John Dale, couldn't you get chairs for the rest of the band?
No.
They're standing all the time.
That's why they're paid extra money.
I see, to stand. Okay, thank you, Evan, and hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to offer a song that I've sung since I was a youth. I probably was too young to sing it then. It's age specific now.
How many years ago was that?
It was in my youth.
Notice I didn't respond.
Back in 1940.
The song comes from 1938. It's September Song. Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, but these few precious days I'll spend with you. These golden days I'll spend with you. When I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I let the old earth take a couple of whirls, while I plied her with tears in lieu of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for that waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, but these few precious days I'll spend with you. These golden days I'll spend with you.
You haven't lost it. You haven't lost it.
Wow.
Ken Beachler, everybody. Wow. Ken, here. We did some musical chairs so you could join us. Brad's over there with the band. So, Bob, you know, in fact, the music has stopped, so there's room for all of us. Don't worry.
Okay.
There's room for all of us. And now everyone understands how much you love theater, your passion for it. But walk us through a little bit about how you became involved with the Wharton Center and how this all got started. Because evidently, you'd done something right, kid.
Well, you know, ever since the University Auditorium was built, it opened in 1940 to build it. This was Dr. and Mrs. Wharton, Clifton and Dolores Wharton. Clifton was our president, and they realized it's a great university, but it needed a great performing arts space. And so we launched our first ever fundraising campaign. We launched it in 1975. We had originally hoped to open a new facility by the American Bicentennial, 1976. 1976.
With that performance, you'd have played John Adams, I think.
Played John, yes.
There you go.
But anyway,
sit down.
We actually did not open until September of 1982, but we did raise the money privately. It's interesting. There is a new renovation of Fairchild Theater over at the auditorium. It's fabulous.
Yes,
it's fabulous.
We heard a wonderful new space.
They spent almost as much money redoing it, because they just gutted it and rebuilt it again, as we spent building this whole center. But of course, that was a long time ago. And I thought, if I can just stay 3 years, it would be great, because we went through all the planning and the visiting of other facilities, and
just 3 years, folks.
Yeah.
Just 21 later.
Yeah, so now it is, we are in our 32nd season.
Look at that.
Here at Wharton Center.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah. Bob and I work the same place, but at different times, right? So,
same thing with us.
yeah.
We've worked the same place, but at different
Channel
times.
6, different times. So.
And Ken, you bring up a good point, because it just reminds us about how we're all connected in some way or another, especially when it comes to the performing arts, whether you've seen someone perform, whether you've been a part of the performance yourself, and we're all friends, and that's what we love about this community too, and that's why we think this community keeps giving back. And we're going to have you come back after the break, because you've got a little bit more performance in you to give.
And you do too.
Well, rumor has it. The Evan Michael Show returns after this with a special performance from Ken Beachler and me. Guys sound fantastic.
Thank you.
As always. Now, Mr. Beachler, we have had the pleasure of sharing the stage a few times in our illustrious past.
Without me, there'd be little for you. You want to try? Let me tell you how I feel about it.
Oh, you're going to, well, very good.
You be the detective, okay?
Deal, I'm the
fictional
detective.
character. You are some gumshoe, you don't think well. Get this dumb gumshoe, you come from my inkwell. Is your mouth lonely with 1 foot in there? Stone your brain only, thoughts I put there. Just what you are, I'll spell out. You are a novel pain. 1 fleck of lymph that fell out the last time that I picked my brain.
You are so jealous of my track record. Tolstoy to tell us your feeble hack record. Your weak knees brand you soft and unstable. 1 small threat and you fold like a card table. You drool at my adventures. Your broads in bed are bored. Go home and soak your dentures. Your pen is no match for my sword. You're nothing without me. No one who'd go undefined. You wouldn't exist, you'd never be missed.
I tell you, you're out of my mind.
A show off, a blowhard. You're equal parts hot air and gold. And no one would doubt me without me. You're nothing at all.
You're in my plot, I'm still your creator. I call each shot, I'm your private dictator.
You are so thick, you eat, read, sleep fiction. I'm your meal ticket, knee deep in cheap fiction.
You gloating ignoramus, you haven't any shame.
Hey, I'm a famous Seamus, and most people don't know your name. You're nothing without me. Without me, you just disappear right into thin air, and no one would care or notice you ever were here. A puppet and a star, a loser who's destined to fall. I'm everything you always wanted to be.
Let's deal with the you wish you were me.
You're nothing without me, without me, you're nothing at all. There it is, Mr. Ken Michler.
I didn't mean a word of it.
But that's the beauty. Sometimes we let the words speak for themselves.
Indeed, indeed.
And that's what we're hoping to do, folks. Let this show speak for ourselves all season long. We have so many more special surprises in store for you, from local performances, from big Broadway shows like we've seen. And speaking of which, let's thank all of our special guests today. Miss Chris Coop-Olette, big round of applause. Mr. Bob Hoffman from the Wharton Center, Mr. Brad Fowler over there in the band, and of course, Mr. Ken Michler for John Dale Smith and the world-class City Band. I'm Evan Michael for the Evan Michael Show, and remember, great advice for both the audience and the band, John Dale. When it comes to our show, stay tuned.